Hello, everyone. So, responding to a question that I had on a post I put out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, well, it depends when this video comes out, which was how do you get, I've got it on my screen here, how do you go about getting into playing, like finding people to play with? I've been playing for a while now and still never had a game. So, I had no intention when I started this hobby of playing it. I loved painting, I loved them being on display, and I had no intention. It was back in, I think, February 2025, where me and two of my friends, one of them who had played before, back in like 7th edition, and hadn't played since, he still had a load of Imperial Guard stuff and some Adeptus Mechanicus stuff. He took us through a game where we just try it. And the moment I finished that game, I was hooked. So, in terms of how do you get around like finding people, so you have a few options. First one is see if you can victimize your friends and drag them into this hobby. It's not a cheap hobby unless you've got one of those or a resin one or use the China shops. You can either drag your friends into it. That's one way. Another way is to get in contact with your friendly local game store, okay, and see if they have like introductory games going on. You can do this down at GW as well, but they don't allow you to play games. They just teach you how to play. So contact your friendly local game store. See if they run like a nerd club or something. My local do run one every Tuesday night. Go down. Go down. You don't have to take your models with you. I didn't the first time I went down. I just went there and watched some people playing, and they kind of explained a few of the nuances to me. I never had any issues with the community. There were people who were they came off as being unapproachable, but I'm quite lucky that I'm quite loudmouth, so I didn't really care too much. But I could understand why people would think they were unapproachable. Most of them though are fantastic. You ask them any questions, you're like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your game, but I'm new," or whatever. You know, they love it. I would love that. By the way, if I'm playing and someone goes, "Look, I'm new, would you mind explaining what you're doing?" I'd absolutely love that if someone said that to me. So yeah, contact your local game store, see if they run that nerd club. That's a really good one. Alternatively, if they don't run a nerd club, they might host games at their store. In which case, just turn up. Just go to them. Obviously, check with them if you're allowed to turn up or if you have to pay a little bit of money. We have to pay about £3 if we want to turn up to the one near me. Another one that's in Portsmouth called a Fistful of Dice in their basement. So they're a store like friendly local game store, you know, selling Warhammer and all that stuff. In their basement, they have space for like 7 by 60-inch tables, which is the standard competitive size. They've got 7 of them in an air-conditioned basement, and you pay £5 per player, so £10, you know, £10 a table to rent it for the entire day. They're open for like 8 hours. You know, you might be able to get 3 games in that time, depending on what size game you're playing, which is fantastic. Great value for money. It can be difficult, I will admit that if you're not the most social person, it can be quite difficult to get involved. But I just want to reiterate, I have never encountered a complete knobhead in this community. I know I've not been in it that long. I've only been in it I've been less than a year, been playing the game. But I've been out a few times to the gaming conventions, the gaming meetups or whatever, and I've never had a dickhead. They've always been great, especially even the random people that I don't know that I've played against. They're always really understanding. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what else I can really say. Yeah, so ask your friendly local game store. If you live out in the sticks, that's probably going to be a bit more difficult. You can go to GW themselves and go to their stores. They don't host games anymore, as far as I'm aware, but they will teach you how to play, which is very good. An alternative to going to GW to be taught how to play, which has its ups and downs, is to watch YouTube channels that do gameplay of it. So Tabletop Tactics, which is a UK-based group, and then you have Play on Tabletop, who I am not sure if they're American or if they're Canadian. I can't tell the difference in the accent. But they do games that are, I think Play on Tabletop are, well, it's 40k in 40 minutes, so they're 40-minute videos, and then Tabletop Tactics are about an hour. But again, they show you what they're doing and what they need to hit. You know, they show you a lot of things, and it's fantastic, absolutely great. You can see fantastic painted models. Okay, I think you guys will love it. I have never looked back. I love playing the tabletop. It's very funny. Dice tell stories all the time. I have some competitive friends. The guy who owns the other 3D printer, very competitive. So that sometimes puts me off because I'm not. So when they're trying really hard and I'm trying to meme, it's kind of it's kind of a bit. It can get hasty sometimes, but we're friends, so we just swear at each other and then we get over it. So that's what I would say. It's kind of a difficult one. I would say one, try and victimize your friends into financial ruin. Two, ring up your friendly local game store and ask them a bunch of questions. Three, you could check Facebook or the internet for any other local meetups. Four, visit GW. That's what I would say. If all of them fail, you might need to move house and go somewhere else because that's all I can kind of think of. Again, I'd be quite lucky with it. But if any of you are ever on the south, oh no, forgot one. You might. I don't know if you can actually do it. I've never done research into it. You might be able to be a visitor at a tournament. I don't know if they allow you to do that, but that might be an idea, is to go see a tournament. Or if you think you know roughly how to play, or you've been taught how to play by GW, go to a tournament. Apparently people are really good. I've never been, but again, the community is great. They don't get shitty. There's no bad attitudes that I know about. That might be another alternative for you guys. So hopefully this has helped. Because it is a nice segue onto my next thing that I wish to show you all. It is done. The monolith! Oh, I am very happy with this thing. It is pretty big. It's like, if I lean back, is it the size of my head? Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's like the size of my head. It wouldn't be the size of my head if I still had my beard though. But it's great. It's a bit rickety because of the little plastic stand. You might be able to see it in there just behind the stairs. That allows the whole thing to rotate so it looks like it's like flying on its side, which is cool. I don't like that much, but this took about 20 hours. And most of that 20 hours, I think, was probably doing the little floating rocks in here. Each groove in those rocks you can see, I had to fill with a few layers of ink. I used black ink to do it. Here we are. I use this to help pop out the and highlight the grooves or whatever. I've done that in the sort of recesses on here. So for example, this recess, this line there with the circle, that's all done using that ink as well. The green is a white, basically everything that's glowing green on this thing is base coated with white scar layer paint over the primer, of course, which was all black. So white scar followed by where is it? It's like Hexwrath Flame, and it seems to have gone walkabouts. It's over here. Yeah, Hexwrath Flame contrast paint, and you can see I've got stuff on my fingers from when I was doing the base. And then once that's all dry, with some Tesseract Glow Technical to help it glow a bit more. And that's the same with every bit of green that you can see on here. Everything, there's loads of little details that are green on the guns and on the panels and whatever, on the Scorpion at the back. The base took about 3 hours. I know it doesn't look it because I suck at doing bases, but I think it's okay. It's not exactly what I had in mind, I'll be honest. Not exactly what I had in mind, but it's worked out. Yeah, so oh, I can't wait to use it this weekend. But hopefully, guys, that answered the question that you guys were after. If you have any more questions, please put them down in the comments below. I'm more than happy to answer anything, or do a deep dive on any models that I own, how they perform on the field, how I painted them, whatever. Okay, more than happy to do that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.